Okay, so it's just a video about I'm just making a video and I don't even know why I'm making it. It's almost as though, you know, you try to talk about what is happening to people, why they seem to have different reasons for existence, but also, see, I don't even know what I'm saying, and words are just coming into my head and they're jumbled and not making sense. So I'm just doing this, whereas normally I would be very sure about what I'm talking about, even though, of course, I don't really have all the pieces of the puzzle. I have the basics, but even the basics are only like the basics of what I think is what I call, really, it's what I call, and what it really is keeping some human beings to the forefront of everything in the world. In other words, you've always got false human beings telling you everything. Now, some people might say, well, how do you know who's false? If I'm telling you something, how do you know why I'm making the video, what I'm making it for, who I'm making it for? Usually you would probably know who you're making it for and why you're making it. The Matrix or the Earth, God's representatives know exactly why they make videos, exactly why they are, you know, psychic. Because when I say psychic, they're all psychic because they're all connected to the human brains of the remaining human beings. So they're all psychic because they can tell you what you're doing, what you've done, and even often predict what you're going to do, not just based on what you've done up to that point, but the human being often knows what it's going to do in advance. But it may not consciously be thinking of that, but it kind of does. You kind of do, usually. So they have access to past, present and future. What they call the monitoring, the brain scan monitoring, the transhuman brain to computer and to the androgyne beings, computer mind or intelligent mind. I say that because it's advanced intelligence interpreting what they receive from your mind. That's the main deception of it is that. Even though, if you say you're psychic, for instance, and all entertainers, all world stage performers regardless of their platform, whether they're a power player, a powerful figure, whether they control large amounts of people, whether their audience is performing arts or performing in the so-called real world. It's all a performance, because they're all trying to control the human mind, but also they're using human information or human mind for their impersonations of humanity, because most of your demigods and your internet stage performers and your world performers, in other words, anyone that has any following or any audience, you know, is receiving your human information and needs to receive the human information because their advanced artificial or advanced intelligence. Artificial intelligence just simply means that it's intelligence only. It understands human reactions and, you know, their humanity type things, but it doesn't really experience that, as you could imagine, because a machine just receives information, but it assimilates that information of what it is to be human and then projects it out as its own, so it imitates being a normal human being, or a human being that has humanity, because all what you see around you, and even on the world stage and on the internet stage, they're all human looking, or they all have a human voice, but these are android beings mainly. The reason they come across as very human and are basically all psychic, because that just simply means that they can read the mind. But it's not psychic in a spiritual way or a religious way like a lot of people think of psychic, and most people think that it's false anyway. Not everyone believes that there really is the ability to read the human mind. But understand this, science tells you that they have this technology, that they can connect to your brain if you have implants in your head or in your body. Then it can read your human reactions. You know, there are many internet articles and information about this. It's what they call the transhuman program, which the artificial intelligent androgyne human beings will openly tell you about this. In other words, they're your world stage performers or your world internet, you know, intellectual performers. I say performers because it really is just a performance to seduce the human mind, or to, you know, confuse it, but it's all about getting energy, getting you to focus on them. It's all really about human control. It's all human control. Very similar to very similar to, oh, I was gonna show some images, but some images on the screen where, you know, human beings can be, you can be seduced to do lots of things in your life. And if it's not like in a higher vibrational kind of seduction, or, you know, with a positive means to the end, shall we say, then you will be seduced by the matrix ones. And yes, you will be also seduced just with these human disciples of the computer god of earth, because the god of earth uses the internet and the computer system to project out fragments of its multi-personality mind. When I say that, that's because it's a disordered, chaotic, advanced artificial intelligent brain, that its disciples are parts of that, or represent parts of that mind, because a bit like human beings, if they were in contact or connected to their own creator God, shall we say, they would represent that God on earth. But human beings are separated from their God and are only connected to the earth matrix God and its disciples. And many human beings think that is their true creator God. That's the main deception, I think, in many denominations or many belief systems. So when I say that many of the belief systems are of the matrix God or of the false God of earth, in other words, it isn't really your creator, some people might take that in a very negative way. But you are like myself. You do want to believe in the true creator of you, and you want to believe in those more positive human life, love kind of attitudes and way of living, shall we say, while you're alive. But because the earth God represents your true God, because they're imitators just as its disciples, I'm trying to show you, are artificial intelligent androgyne beings imitating being very real human beings. They will pretend to be beings of light, love and life. And they will even say that, just as I'm saying it. So you won't be able to tell if I'm a real human being or if they are. But also, most like myself, assuming you think I'm a real human, will be distracted and will be drawn to negative things in your life, because it is a human mind control game. The idea is to keep you less human while they keep control of the matrix, while controlling the human mind through a pretense of being the real humans. Have I explained that properly? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm going to just, I don't know what I'm going to do here, probably nothing. So I'm just going to show, I was going to show a video See, in this particular one, this poor girl was lured into a matrix, anti-human, anti-love, anti-life game, where she was made to be a, a destroyer of life. Of course, like the Matrix ones, they do try to convince you that if you do something negative, like if you do something that's destructive or anti-life or anti-human, that you're doing that for the good of all, that you're doing it in the best interest of humanity, that maybe you're destroying the others, those that are very of the psychopathy of anti-life. In other words, it's a reverse world. So like in that other movie too, where you have the androids that think they're human, getting rid of what they see as artificial, intelligent android beings. Whereas in reality, it's reversed around, because sometimes the ones that you think are not human are more human than the androids, because androids think they are human. Even most psychopathic types of people, we're told, actually believe they're human. Or, because we're told that the malignancy of Narcissus, or that particular personality disordered mind, where they actually dislike their own kind and dislike humanity and don't relate to life in any way, they believe they are human. This is a fail-safe on the part of the God entity in the creation of its humanoid android androgyne race, or species of being. You have many different races in the world, many different races of human being. They're all racing against one another. But you only really have two kinds of minds at a basic level. One is human and one is anti-human. One is usually heads towards the life instinct and the other operates in the death instinct. This we're told, and this is the case, so I don't know why that would be, but don't know where those noises are coming from, but there's a lot of suppression, a lot of suppression.